So how are they going to do 4 different setups in one day in different locations? One of those locations for Autumn was supposed to be a bedroom. Well, then it turned into, well, does it need to be a bedroom? Where else can she be in having this conversation? So although the writer wrote it for Autumn's home in her bedroom and turned into and asking the writer, because the writer was present. We fortunately, Ramala, our showrunner, she worked so hard to make sure our writers there for their episode. So this one was. And so ask the writer, what's the purpose of this? Why do we need this story point? Okay, great. It's this for this pivotal conversation they're having. Amazing. Does it have to happen in the bedroom? Because we're actually going to be shooting more on our lead during this point. Okay, well, then what if Autumn is somewhere else? And then they're starting to look at the day like, well, we're here for location A, location B, location C. You know what? There's a parking garage here. What if she's coming from work? Does that work? Is that realistic? Does that work with the timeline? So although the writer placed it for Autumn's home, which does tell a story, right? We get to see where she lives. Is the place messy? Is it clean? You know, how much money does she make? But we could tell that same story by seeing her car, by seeing where she's coming from work, seeing what she's wearing, and they chose to do a different location. So that was cool to realize as a director, how you've got to put that thinking cap on when you're there in order to do that puzzle of the day of like, how are we going to make our hours? How are we going to make our day? And how are we going to stick to the story? And also be open as a writer where we might change a little bit of the location, but we're still going to hone into that scene for the moment of the story, but be flexible in that moment.